Salams and welcome to part number 184 in this fabulous book, Muhammad Sal'lal'laa'hu alayhi wasallam, his life based on the earliest sources. And we are busy with chapter number 59, which is the trench, and we're looking at the Battle of the Trench. And as we mentioned, the Confederate army comprising of 10,000, about 3,000 or 4,000 from the Quraysh, about 2,000 or 3,000 for the Hart tribe, and many other allies. We said Banu Nadir, which was exiled from Medina. The leader, the Huyay, went to the Quraysh and started stirring up trouble for the Muslims. And the Jews were exiled. They started bribing the other tribes, and especially for the Ghatafan tribe, very powerful tribe, they promised to give them half or the entire harvest for that particular year in exchange for the support against Medina. Right, so here, just to refresh our memory, here we have the trench itself. Makkah is over here, Medina is over here in the north, so Makkah is in the south, and Medina is basically fortified in the sense that in the south there are orchards and palm trees. You cannot enter Medina from the south or from the west or the east. These are volcanic tracks. You can only enter from the north, and this is the trench which is dug. What was the size of the trench? And the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and the Sahaba all took part in the trench, because now they only had 1 week. Now listen to the dimensions of the trench. They only had 1 week, right, to sort this problem out, because the Meccans are on the way. This is basically the dimensions of the trench. This is the sand, so they had to dig a huge trench. The size of the trench was 5.5 kilometers long, say about 6 kilometers long, right around entire northern face of Medina, about 5 to 6 kilometers long. How deep was it? It was 4 to 5 meters deep, very deep. And the reason, now you can imagine a grave is only 2 meters deep. So this was about 3 times the depth of a grave. So those of you who have buried your near and dear ones in a grave, when you stand inside the grave, the grave is so deep. Your head, you can't take your head out of a grave. It's too deep. A grave is 2 meters deep and about 1 meter wide, right? Now here, Prophet ﷺ had to dig a grave that is 4 to 5 meters deep. And they had to have it so deep because if a horse goes in there, the horse must not be able to jump out. And a camel and a horse are very high. So they had to have a very deep trench. So if a horse goes in there or a camel goes, it must basically be a grave for a horse. That's how deep it was. Very deep. How wide was it? It was 9 meters wide. 9 meters. Which is about 27 to 28 feet. If you go into your house, your average size of a bedroom is 3 to 4 meters. Say your bedroom is 3 meters. So if you can think 3 meters by 4 meters, about 3 bedrooms side by side, like half the length of your house. 9 meters wide. That means if a horse, if someone say Khalid bin Walid or Ikrama, one of the enemies are coming, they're galloping on the horse, will they be able to jump this distance? They won't be able to jump it. And I was very curious. So I went into these equestrian magazines and articles, and I tried to do some research to say, why was this particular figure taken as 9 meters? How did they know? And so I looked at it, and here's what this equestrian statistics show. That the longest horizontal jump by any horse in the world record for a horse has been 9 meters. So a horse cannot jump more than 9 meters. And I found this very clear. How did Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam know this 1400 years ago, that a horse cannot jump more than 9 meters? Only one horse in the world has managed it, and that was in the August. So the longest horizontal jump, the longest jump by any horse in the world, only one horse managed to do it in August 1975, and the name of that horse is called something. So the name of the horse is called something. I'm absolutely amazed. How did Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, how did Salman al-Farsi, how did they know that a horse cannot jump more than 9 meters? So they did this 9 meters, a horse won't be able to jump. And what do the experts, the horse equestrian experts, they say? On average, horses are able to jump 3 times their length. So the length of a horse, the horse cannot jump more than 3 times that length. And these are for expert horses who have been trained in jumping and show jumping, right? So given the fact that a horse is on average 7 foot 9 inches or 7 foot 8 inches in length on average. This would allow for a jump of 23 feet, 22 feet or 23 feet. That means a horse would cover about 7 to 8 meters. So a good horse will be able to run, will come 7 meters. Even if a horse manages 8 meters, that horse at the Battle of the Trench, the horse will just come 8 meters and it will fall down. Absolutely amazing. Look at the intelligence of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Look at the intelligence of the people. How did they know without this data that a horse cannot jump more than 9 meters? So subhanAllah, it was a trench that was very, very long, 5.5 to 6 kilometers. Now think of 6 kilometers. Think of digging a hole in your garden. Just take your garden as an example. Can you dig a hole that's 9 meters wide, like a length of a swimming pool? You're going to make it 5 meters deep, deeper than a swimming pool, and you're going to make it 6 kilometers long. You need tractors and you need all sort of heavy duty equipment. Here the Sahaba with minimal equipment. They were not trained laborers. They were not artists. They were not construction workers. They said, no, we have to do it. It's a must. And so this is a lesson for us to learn. So there's a lot of lessons we're going to learn from the Battle of the Trench, and we will share these lessons. One of those lessons is that the news came to Medina very suddenly. Abbas radiallahu anhu sent out a message because the army had gathered, and Abu Sufyan with his army, 5,000 from Abu Sufyan, another 3,000 from Ghatafan, another 4,000 from the other tribes, so 10,000. So by the time the army was marching out of Mecca, Abbas bin radiallahu anhu sent a message to Medina, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam got the news, but it'll take 14 days for the 12 days for the 12 to 14 days for the army to get to Medina. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, by the time he got the message, 4 days have already gone, so he only had about 1 week to get things sorted out. So this is a lesson in life. Sometimes you are faced with an emergency, right? You can't say, oh, I wish I had more time, or I need time to rest. You can't have procrastination. You can't say, no, I'm busy with other things. I've got so many other things to take care of. No, this is an emergency. So now the entire community must rally to the call to say, right, okay, we need to start digging. We need to first find a solution. They found a solution to dig a trench. Now they say, let's get going. Second lesson, you can't now complain, oh, I don't have a shovel, or I don't have a pickaxe, I don't have this. You can't complain. You take whatever minimal resources that you have. You can't say, I wish I had a drill, I wish I had a plier, I wish I had a hammer. You can't do that. And you say, whatever resources I've got at the moment, I will take it, and we will make sure we're going to dig the trench, because digging of the trench is essential for our survival. And number 3, we say tawakkal to Allah. We put our faith in Allah. And tawakkal to Allah is going to go throughout this whole thing about the Battle of the Trench. So one lesson we're going to learn from the Battle of the Trench is tawakkal to Allah, putting your trust in Allah. But, very important, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam didn't say, you know what, let's stay, it's okay, no problem, Allah is with us, no problem, they can't touch us, tawakkal to Allah, they can't touch us. No. And some people, unfortunately today, even some of the youngsters and some people, even whatever the age group is, they have this wrong concept. Nothing is going to happen, man, nothing is going to happen. What kind of intelligence is that? That's not the way a Muslim thinks. A Muslim has got to make the effort. Make your maximum effort. Yeah, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is showing, he's making the effort. No one can touch him. Jibreel Alayhi Salam can destroy everybody. But Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is teaching us that when you're faced with a difficulty, don't say, man, just say, tawakkal to Allah. Nothing will happen. I've had people like this, and from a medical point of view, I find it very sad. We had people at the time of COVID, they say, you know what, we don't need vaccine. Nothing will happen. Just say Bismillah and nothing will happen. Please, for heaven's sake, if you're not educated, if you haven't gone to medical school, if you haven't dissected the human body, don't talk from your mouth things that you don't know, because you are deceiving other people. And other people are getting sick because of your ignorance. As Muslims, we must not be ignorant people. Islam says we must be educated people. So if you don't know about science and medicine, leave it to the professionals. That is why, unfortunately, in some Islamic countries, Pakistan, Afghanistan, other places, Muslims are not taking vaccines. And they not even take a simple thing like polio vaccine or measles and mumps. And we're getting Muslim children who are growing up crippled from polio. All it takes one or two drops under your tongue and you don't get a crippling disease. Why are we allowing our ummah to be crippled children? For what? Because we are ignorant? Because some, I'm not saying all the ulama, some ulama are saying haram, haram, haram. Make tawakkul to Allah, make tawakkul to Allah. But is that your child? Why are you allowing other people's children to have a disease that can be prevented? Allah, the hadith says, so every disease has a cure except for old age. Although it's not part of the hadith, I'll say there's no cure for stupidity. Sometimes I get so upset that we've got the intelligence, we've got the treatment, and then we say things that we don't understand. We say, no, tawakkal to Allah, nothing will happen. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam taught us. And there's a lesson we learn from the Battle of the Trench. Tie your camel, then say tawakkal to Allah. Because famously, one day Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam gave a talk about tawakkal to Allah, a fabulous talk. He said, you must put your trust in Allah, rely on Allah for anything you want. Put your trust in Allah, nothing will happen, right? And there's one Sahabi took it literally. So then he came to do some marketing, he came to the market in Medina. He was a Bedouin. He came from the tribe, from the outlying areas of Makkah, at least from Medina. And he came into Medina, and then he left his camel, he got off his camel, and he walked away to do his errand. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam called him back. Because there's a tradition, if you're a camel rider or a horse, you take the reins of your horse, you take that rope, you tie it around a tree. Or if you've got a camel, you hobble the camel. That means you tie the leg of the camel down. The camel sits down, you hobble it. It means you tie a rope around the camel's leg. The knee is like this. You tie it like this so the camel cannot stand up and run away. That means you are making sure the camel does not run away. This fellow, he left his camel and he walked. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam called him back. He said, what are you doing? Our normal routine is, it's like in today's time, if you park your car, you press a button, beep, beep, and the alarm is locked. Beep, beep, alarm is locked. Now, if you leave your car doors open and you're going into the shopping mall, someone will find it very good. Why are you leaving your car doors, or why are you attracting criminals to come into your car? It's like a thing that doesn't make sense. You can't say, no, I left my car doors wide open. Tawakkal to Allah, tawakkal to Allah. Nothing will happen. Please, let us not use our stupidity and then blame it on Islam. Please. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam then called this fellow. He said, why didn't you tie your camel? And this man said, no, but you said tawakkal to Allah. Nothing is going to happen. I left my camel there. Nothing will happen. If the camel goes away, it's taqdeer. It was written that the camel must go away. That is taqdeer. Please. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, please, you have a very wrong concept of what's going on about tawakkal to Allah and taqdeer. Tawakkal to Allah means you first tie your camel. Then you put your trust in Allah. That means you make the effort. Tie your camel. If the camel then runs away, then it is taqdeer. If the camel, after you have tied the camel, you make sure the camel cannot move away, and if the camel then escapes for whatever reason, or someone comes, unties the camel and runs away with it, steals the camel, then it is taqdeer. But if you leave the camel like that without tying, then it's your own stupidity. Don't blame it on tawakkal to Allah and don't blame it on taqdeer. It's like someone who's standing in the front of a road, middle highway. Nothing will happen, man. My death is written. Nothing will happen. It's tawakkal to Allah. I can stay in here. There's no car going to hit me. No train is going to hit me. That is stupidity. That is stupidity. Right? So the whole point about tawakkal to Allah, which the Battle of the Trench is showing us, that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and the Sahaba, they only had 10 days. They did not say, let's take out the musallas. We got 10 days. Let's take out the tasbih for 10 days. We're going to wake up for tahajjud. We're going to pray. We're going to make khatam in every house. We're going to make khatam al-Quran. We're going to make every house. We're going to stand up. We're going to pray to Allah. Ya Allah, the enemy is coming. The enemy is coming. Keep them away. Destroy them. Throw them into Jahannam. Destroy them. Ya Allah, Ya Allah. Yes, you can do that. Nothing wrong with that. Yes, you must go into sitcha. Nothing wrong with that. Yes, take out your tasbih. Nothing wrong with that. Yes, make khatam in the houses. Nothing wrong with that. But in addition to that, what are you doing? What are you doing? The Quran says clearly, you can have nothing. You can have nothing. You can have nothing but that which you strive for. If you don't strive for it, you're not going to get it. If you don't strive for your exams, you're not going to get it. If you don't strive to be Hafiz al-Quran, you're not going to get it. If you don't strive to be a doctor, you're not going to get it. It's hard work. You got to struggle, and then you get what you want. You can't just get it for nothing. The Quran makes it clear you can have nothing but that which you strive for. Then don't say, no, it was not written for me, it was not meant for me, I couldn't open the business, it was not meant for me. Really? Did you really put in the effort to open that business? Yes, there's problems in your business. Did you really make an effort for your career? Did you really struggle to find your customers? Customers are not going to just walk into your house. I mean, if you open up a business, why must customers come to you? For what? You've got thousands of competition. Why must a customer decide to come to you? Why? So please, if your business is not doing well, ask yourself a question. There's something you are doing wrong. Maybe your price is not right. Maybe your quality is not right. Or maybe your marketing. Now, I was executive director of marketing in the hospital. And you cannot get patients, you cannot get customers if you don't do marketing. You must do marketing. Tell the world you exist. So if your business is low, if your business is not growing, ask yourself, how can you attract customers? Open up your pamphlet, design adverts, go out to the communities, tell the businesses, advertise in social media, advertise in the newspaper, advertise on television, advertise on the radio. You must market your business. You must market it. That's how you're going to succeed in your business. Customers are not going to walk in. It means make an effort. So the Battle of the Trench is teaching us a fabulous, fabulous lesson. Fabulous lesson. That means make an effort. Dig the trench. Dig the trench. Take all your precautions. Then, if they cross the trench, then you say, then it is taqdeer. So you first dig your trench. Then you pray to Allah. Then you say tawakkul to say, Ya Allah, I've done everything I could, Ya Allah. I can't do anything more. I have been sweating, Ya Allah. This is the best idea that I've got, Ya Allah. I've spoken to everyone. I've spoken to my friends. I've spoken to my family. They said, this is the way to do your business. Or this is how I must cook my recipe. Or this is the way I must plan my wedding. Ya Allah, I've done everything, Ya Allah. Now I say tawakkul to Ya Allah. Now I'm praying. I'm putting my head on the ground. I'm praying to you. Now I need your help, Ya Allah. Now I'm making tawakkul to Allah. So please remember, tawakkul to Allah means make the effort. And we as a Muslim Ummah, unfortunately, especially we see our global situation, we see our local situation, we see our continental situation, we see our national situation, we see the situation of communities and elsewhere. We can do much better. We can do much better. We have not set the bar high enough. We have not set that bar high enough. You must sweat, you must struggle, you must strive. You must take every ounce of the time that you have, squeeze the juice out of life to say, I've got to do it, no matter what your pain is, no matter what your difficulty is. Don't let that slow you down. You say, I've got to do it. The battle of the trench. We got to dig that trench. We got no choice in the matter. We cannot say, tawakkal to Allah. No problem. We are in Medina. Nobody can touch Medina because in the hadith it says, no one can enter Medina, so we are protected. No, they did not say that. They said the Malaika can come and help us. Yes, the Malaika helped them at the Battle of Badr. And if Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam prays and he says, Ya Allah, I don't want to dig a trench, just send Jibreel Salam, send the Malaika on the mountain, just destroy it. Allah could have done it. But what lessons would we have learned from that? Nothing. I mean, if I and you pray for Malaika, I mean, why must Allah send Malaika for us? Yes, the Malaika, they are all the time helping us. But Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is teaching us that we as ordinary human beings, you must strive, you must struggle, you must sweat. That is the only way you're going to pass your exams. That is the only way you're going to get your distinctions in your school exams. That is the only way you're going to become a Hafiz al-Quran. That is the only way you're going to become a doctor, a scientist, or a lawyer, or accountant, or a calligrapher, or an artist, or a fabulous chef. You must strive hard and you must work hard. That is the lesson for today. So we have just started the Seerah on the trench itself. And please remember, the time of the trench was being dug, it was famine in Medina. They were starving. They were hungry. And there's some miracles we're going to talk about as well. Stay well, look after yourself. I love this part here because now we're getting to the meat. We're getting to the meat of it. You know why? This is the last time that the enemy, the Quraysh, will ever dare come to Medina again. This is the last time. Khalas, finish. After that, they're not going to come again. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillah.